Okay, so let's talk about significant figures. For significant figures, when we make a measurement, we only know the number to a certain amount. Our calculator doesn't know how well we know that number, and so we have to determine the significant figures. And so, how are we going to do that? Well, we have certain rules that apply. And when we make a measurement, like on a digital balance, we just use that number. It shows us that's no extra digit. But if we were to use something like a ruler or a meter stick, we can see that that number, that line, our imaginary measurement we're doing, is more than 2.5, but it's less than 2.6. And so we can estimate the value of that dotted line to be about 2.55. And so that number would have 3 significant figures. When we are looking at significant figures, we have several rules that apply. So, and feel free to pause this video at any point, write down what you need to, and then rewind and play again. So, all non-zero digits are significant. If you see in a measurement a number that is not zero, it is significant. If you see a zero, however, we have some rules that have to be applied. First, zeros that appear between two other non-zero digits. They are always significant. It means they've been measured. We know that is exactly to be zero because we've measured numbers before and after it. Zeros that appear in the front of all non-zero digits are never significant. These are there simply as placeholders. They put that number where it needs to go. So in example A, there's only one significant figure because the 3 leading zeros are not significant. Same thing in B, the first leading 3 zeros are not significant, so it would have 3 significant figures. So the other place we can have zeros, we've had them in the beginning, we've had them in the middle, now we can have them at the end. And end will depend a lot. So there's 2 cases. If we have them at the end of a measured number, and it is no decimal point is present, then they are not significant. So in the case of A, 140 has 2 significant figures because the 0 is not significant. B, 75,210, again, that final 0 is not significant, so that would have 4 significant digits. If there is a decimal present, then the zeros at the end of the number are significant because it means we've measured it and we've determined that it is significant. It is exactly 0. And so in the last 2 cases, all the digits in the number are significant. So when I ask you to round in using significant figures, if I ask for a particular number of digits, you would count over. And in the case of 20.7872, etc., you're going to start with the 2, the 0 is significant, and then you're going to go 8 places total. And so if the digit at the end is higher than 5 or higher, we round up. If it's 4 or lower, we round off. And so in the case of 3 significant digits, we would have 20.87, and the 7 would round the 8 up to a 9. In the case of 4 significant digits, we would have 20.872, and the 2 would round off, giving us 20.87. If you have a number like the second to last example here, if we want 2 significant digits and it ends in a 0, we either have to put in a decimal place or we have to use scientific notation. Either would be acceptable. So I will post that video as well. And we have certain, we'll stop here for a second and I will start another one in a minute.